Sounds actually pretty good with the bass. So the mystery of the bass is the right hand. If you're gonna use your hand, your fingers. Basically, you use a alternating stroke, and you do what's called a rest stroke. So if you're on the higher strings, if we start from the top, you rest your thumb on the top string, and a rest stroke means that when you hit with your pad or you don't bend your finger like this and play with like your tips for that thin sound.
Right.
You use the pad, it gives you a lot of beef, and you come to rest on the string above it.
Okay.
That's called a rest stroke.
Sure.
That way you're really digging in, Yeah. Some guys do this.
Right.
With their fingers bent. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You have no control and no bottom end. You keep your fingers kind of straight. So when you come down, whatever string is, so when I'm coming down, I'm alternating, and if I come down to the next string, I start alternating with whatever finger is on the string already, because I'm doing a rest stroke, meaning like if I'm playing, like you want to rake your fingers across,
Okay. Right.
So when I'm playing on the E string, I'll put my thumb like on the pickup.
Right.
And it has an added benefit of when I'm playing on the low string and I come up, I automatically mute this string that's ringing. And it's a perfect mute. Like this is ringing. Then when I hit this, I like stop. It stops this from ringing.
Sure.
And when you're coming down the other way, you got to use your hand to mute. Just lightly.
Gotcha.
But when you're going up, it mutes itself.
Makes sense.
And yeah, whenever you're alternating, whatever string is already on, whatever string, because you're doing a rest stroke, whatever string is resting on the string above, start using that to alternate. So you just start with whatever finger, middle or index.
Sure.
And then that's a whole nother thing, when you use your thumb to like bounce off the string right where the string intersects the bottom fret.
Sure.
So it's like metal on metal. And that pop sound, that's just pulling up. That's where you dig underneath the string and pull up.
So you're using what? This right here of your thumb?
Yeah, I'm using that joint right there.
Sure, right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And you bounce slightly off of it. It's not even hard.
Right. Because you're hitting right off that fret.
Yeah, you're causing this metal string to bounce right off that metal fret.
Interesting.
And it gives you that metal sound as opposed to this nice bassy sound. And all you want to play your blues kind of stuff.
Nice.
And the thing about all guitar is like it's pattern based, so
Right. So you can go up to the next.
You just take the same pattern and you just move it. So once you learn a pattern somewhere, you're automatically could move that all over the place. So your fingers are called 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So like to play a major scale, for instance, start with your second finger, And when you play in a position, that means like if I'm in this fourth position, that means at the fourth fret, all the notes that are at the fourth fret, I'll play with my first finger. All the notes that are at the fifth fret, I'll play with my second finger. So this is the fourth position. You let your fingers walk up one note at a time, you know. So if you're playing this major scale, A major scale, you start with your second finger on the root note, which is A, and you just play up with your second finger, fourth finger, first finger, second finger, fourth finger, first finger, third finger, second, fourth finger. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And then come back down the other way. Then you could do patterns with that. You know, even if that's simple stuff, but
It's exercises.
yeah, you know, and it's musical sounding. You know, you could do like a Chicago blues thing.
You're just moving down one.
Yeah. Now this is just like a root, octave. That's another move I like to do. It's called the slide.
Right.
But that's all I do, man. It's like one technique on the right hand, and then this you just kind of use whatever finger's closest, you know.
And what would you say the best way I can exercise my, just like the metronome kind of, like the actual beat behind it? What would you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Just actually turn on a metronome and go at that?
I always play to like drum machines and drum beats. That's what I did when I was starting off. So it definitely will help your meter. Another trick that I like to use, if you have a metronome going like this, then you slow it down to half. Then you slow it down to a quarter of that. And then you slow it down all the way to like an eighth of that. You know, so basically what that does,
Gives you the natural feel of
exactly.
breakdown.
Anyone can play along to a metronome, but the trick is when you internalize it, you know, and it's inside your body and in your heart, you know, and you're feeling it. Then, if it's just clicking once in a while, you'll line up with it, you know. That's the trick to see if a guy really has rhythm, you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like anyone could hang right on a metronome that's clicking right along, you know. You're just kind of aiming for that beat. But when you internalize it, you really need it only to click like...
Right, because
Yeah.
you yourself is making that other
you feel it inside. You know
4 or
what I mean?
8 or 16, right?
Right.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing with that. I mean, that being said, you should play to someone that's solid, you know, with the meter. That's called meter. That's the ability of a drummer or a drum. You know, a drum machine obviously has meter because it doesn't slow up or speed up or slow down. But a guy that has good meter, any player, whether they play the bass, the guitar, the drums, if they're not slowing down or speeding up, they've got a good internal clock, you know. And I've played with players